Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, I got some market updates and I got some some airdrop updates, especially some really good claims that you need to be on top of, and a very cool and exciting announcement from NX Finance, especially if you were part of their IDO. So, with that being said, let's get into it. But just remember, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube. And make sure you follow me on my tech. Check me out on Twitter, the Brown Gent YT. Check me out on the bank. See what I'm doing on chain. Also, if you're interested in extra coaching, guidance, and support, you can join the Web3 Secret Society. Lock yourself in at $30 a month. Actually, grow your portfolio, learn what you're doing in crypto, and qualify for the max for some airdrops and get into some really cool things. Most recently, bunch of our members made a ton of money on the KRC20 mints. Walked through every single person on the process, didn't leave anyone behind by doing a workshop. If you want to see more information on stuff like that, check out the private group. All the stuff is saved so you can go back and see everything. Also, if you want, you can book a private call, which I get a couple people doing every so often just to have a good anchor on what they're doing and a good plan for the bull run. Now, fantastic news. Crypto is pumping. It's going to pump it up. And basically, we're seeing Bitcoin, ETH, Sol doing well. We're seeing some of the other tokens also do fantastic. Most notably, we're seeing L1s having incredible pumps. If you've taken a look at SUI, SAY, ICP, you can really tell that the L1 narrative is very strong. Everyone is looking for what the next Solana will be for this cycle. A lot of people are betting on the SUI ecosystem, but it's still up for grabs. We'll see what's going on. But hopefully you guys have been paying attention to my videos where I've told you guys aren't bullish enough. When we were at local bottoms, I was bidding. I was putting a ton of money into the market. And this is exactly why. You buy fear. Once we're getting to neutral and greed, I'm not buying anymore. I've already put a lot of money in. So I hope you guys are super happy. This is nothing yet. Remember, we're about to start Q4, and Q4 in this cycle is typically going to be an insane banger. So hold on to your horses. Guys, the only risk, in my opinion, remember, nothing's financial advice, but I would rather be fully allocated than sidelined waiting for a discount. Those discounts are never worth it. What's the point of waiting for a 2% drop and miss out on 200%, 300% of the move? Now, I have an update for you on Tangem, and this is very specific to what I just said. In the past, if you did get a Tangem wallet, you were unable to get ICP, SUI, or SAY, and especially the KRC tokens that we minted last week into the management on that card. Good news is they are working on it, and they're also working on staking. So very excited to see that. Also, if there's anything else that you want them to add, any other networks, the team is very receptive. So reach out to them, post on Twitter. If you want to check out my opinion on the Tangem wallet, which I do think is very good, definitely check out my review. Link to that and everything else I talk about are in the description below. I have an update for you on Phantom, and this is very time sensitive. You have an opportunity to get a username on Phantom. This is a very important step. It's sort of like a sort of single sign-on that you can create. More details in this thread, but if you want to claim some really good names, do it now. I made sure I claimed the Brown Gent, for example, but make sure you go ahead and do the same thing. Maybe you can get some shorter names, right? And you can get some names that might be more valuable. I don't know if you can really sell them, but definitely something to check out. I got the Brown Gent already locked up, which is all I care about. The first airdrop I want to talk about is LOGX. So this morning, we finally were able to claim our LOGX tokens. As a reminder, LOGX, if you farmed orderly, you likely used LOGX platform, and you got the token on Arbitrum, which is a nice change because they're typically on Ethereum mainnet. So if you want to claim that airdrop, just click on logx.network or follow the direct link I put in the description. You click on claim LOGX. Once you do that and you load this page, what you aren't seeing here, but you will see normally, is an ask of, hey, do you want to stake the tokens? Say no, because to unstake it, I believe, takes an hour. Once you say no, you then go down to this section where it says buy LOGX, click the withdraw button, and then you hit max. Now, I have 0 left, so there's none to select. Transfer time is 10 to 15 minutes. There was high traffic on withdrawals. Let me tell you something. It took me about 6 to 7 hours this morning to receive my LOGX because everyone was withdrawing. You can see here in the history, I had requested at 9:39. I got it around like 3 p.m., 3 or 4 p.m. What you want to do is you withdraw it. You can add your LOGX token contract to the wallet. What I did, as I always tell you guys, is I want to trade these airdrops for something that I'm confident in. Given that we're in the midst of a pump, I would much rather trade this for USDC than trade it for any token, given that if there's a retracement, sure, I'll use that money to buy the dip. So I put the link for the jumper exchange to switch the LOGX token on Arbitrum to USDC on here. Click on it, and you can switch and choose whatever token you want. And I'm glad I did so. I got $77 for my LOGX token, and since then, that price has dropped even more. I would have lost $17, which isn't much, but I got $77, so it wasn't that much in the first place. But you always want to retain the value. What's the purpose of the LOGX token? Might as well get rid of it. Now, here is something I want to talk about, and guys, this is very important. I've talked about the utter failure the NX Finance IDO was. It basically didn't listen to anyone, allowed 2 whales to buy a lot of the pre-sale. Those whales then dumped everything at TGE because they noticed that there was really no momentum. And the team listened at least, which is fantastic, and they're allowing you to claim your refund using the same token amount as your buyback. So basically, a couple things. Some of you may have already dumped all your tokens, not a problem. You can go back and buy those tokens and sell them again. So what I want you to do, if you did participate in the NX Finance IDO, click this link or follow the link that I have in the description. It will tell you what your max buyback amount is. You hit max. When this happens, for me, it was with 3,000 NX tokens. They gave me, I believe, 5 or 6 sold for it, which is way more than the market price. I think I got 4 to 5x value because that's how much the token had dropped. So find out what your max is, like how much your actual NX refund balance is, and find out how many tokens that is. Then you get the NX contract address by looking up Gecko Terminal. You get the contract address right here, ending in FLX, copy to clipboard. You go to Jupiter and you trade. You can even type in NX. It's the only thing that shows up. You click it over here, you buy it, the amount, and then you literally go and connect your wallet. I mean, you've already connected your wallet, but you submit for the refund, and you would have 4 or 5x money from there. Obviously, it doesn't make up for the entire loss, but it made up for over 50% of the loss that I incurred on the IDO. So it's definitely something you want to prioritize if you haven't already. Kudos to the team for doing it. The only one negative thing I think they did here is those whales who dumped and got their sort of purchase price in were also given the allocation. So they were able to sell half of the NX token that they bought, and they bought it off the market and dumped it for 4x the price. So NX basically screwed themselves. I know it's all this whole talk about DeFi, but we've also got to be realistic. And I think the team could have thought about potentially saying, hey, depending on where you ended up selling the token, if you sold it, that is also something to take into account. But they didn't do that, which is something. If I was running NX Finance, I would have sort of said, okay, if they sold the token, let's see how much money they made off it. If they only lost a tiny bit, then we want to make sure that the allocation is tiered very similarly. Everyone shouldn't just get a flat, hey, whatever you bought, you get a 5x or a 4x on it, because some people didn't lose the amount of money. And I think NX Finance put themselves in a hole to do this. Okay. Next update I have for you is a really cool tool from this guy named Benoit Deed. He created a tool on Vercel, which you can literally go in and check your Eigen claim allocation for season 2. What you do is you just go to this website, you type in your address. You don't no need to connect wallet, just type in your address, hit enter, and you can see here, literally it tells me, okay, great, 49, 49 tokens on Ether.fi, 16.5 Renzo, 7 on EigenLayer, 6 on Swell, 1 on Kelp. And if you click on the link specifically, it will literally take you to the spots to go claim them as well. This is an incredible tool, and like I definitely I went and sort of retweeted and shared this. I thought this is a really neat and user-friendly application. So kudos to Benoit Deed for creating that. Going from positive to negative here, it's so funny because a long time ago, we used to think that EtherFi was the best LRT service out there. Renzo kind of was screwing up big time. Swell had sort of delayed their airdrop ad nauseum. But recently, EtherFi has had some major strikes against it. And today was another one of those, which is if you went to the EtherFi website, the site had gotten hacked. So it was not safe to interact with. So basically, their security issues, once again, was a problem. And unfortunately, what that means is people's funds were at risk. Not the funds on the protocol, but if you sort of interacted with the website, you were at risk. That's number one. They got it fixed now, which is great. Number two is the way they are handling the rewards. So they have 2 rewards to give out. The first is EigenLayer Season 2, and the second is EtherFi Season 3. Now, unfortunately, what happened is they said originally that over the weekend we should be able to claim both of those tokens. This turned out to be a lie. They basically changed their mind. They had a lot of complaints around how Renzo was giving way more Eigen token to point ratio. They're saying that nope, we're giving 289 points. We're giving 1 Eigen for that. And disqualified users, Eigen were 100% redistributed to eligible users. This is the other piece that I think is very, very bad. So what I want to show you here is first, to be very clear, I qualified for Eigen through here. Okay? Guys, remember, I left a trace amount of ETH in Mitosis, so I still qualify. That being said, I don't think what EtherFi is doing is correct. Basically, most people are surprised, myself included. They had a random snapshot in August. If you weren't holding any WETH on that date, they zeroed out all of your Eigen rewards. Now, I understand doing it for EtherFi. EtherFi is their token. It's their right. The difference is Eigen they were basically a custodian. We gave them our ETH, and they sort of routed it through EtherFi to EigenLayer. And basically, all this work you would have done, if you just didn't have it on that day, you forfeited. You guys remember how that turned out for Starknet, which for Starknet was obviously a little more fair because for Starknet, it was their protocol, their rules. It's not up to EtherFi. What EtherFi basically did is saying, well, you know what? You withdrew from here and you didn't have it on this date. So we're taking all your rewards away and we're going to give it to people who kept it in EtherFi. So what do you end up doing? You end up polarizing your audience. You end up having some people who are like, yeah, EtherFi is bomb, EtherFi is fantastic. And they go out there and they basically white knight for EtherFi, which is a joke because they got an allocation. And then other people are sidelined. Basically, you know what? Like, this is exactly where I have some issues because some people need liquidity. Like, why the fact would you do this and alienate your audience? And it's not their token. Why do they get to do that when EigenLayer said, hey, EtherFi, you handle this transition? So it's pretty sucky. It sucks to see this happen to a lot of people, and I'm calling it out. Why? Because they have no right to disqualify users. They want to take the ETHFi token away, so be it. You don't steal the Eigen token. It doesn't matter if you're giving it to other users. It's not yours to decide that. Also, their communication on this was utterly, utterly awful. So now they're backpedaling and trying to say, oh, well, we're going to make sure that we sort of share all this information here and blah, 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 blah. The reality is, I said a few months ago that I was done with EtherFi, and I'm so glad, and this just reaffirms my decision. Okay. Next update is on Mitosis. So we haven't had an update on this in a long time. You can finally join their waitlist. If you are interested, I have a few superpass codes in the description below. I have 4 left if you want to use them. Basically, it allows you to sort of get ready for the game of Mito and the incentivized testnet, right? So incentivized testnet's very important because most testnets are not incentivized; they're just a waste of time. What you can do is you can go in here, and what you want to do is you want to basically share your profile with others on Twitter, and then you go in and every day you can like 3 profiles. So you can give up to 3 likes a day, and you want to get as many likes as possible. So the goal is to share as much as possible so you can get the maximum likes and give 3 likes a day out to rank up. I have 4 super fast codes, like I said, and obviously all the things that we know from the expedition of Mitosis is included here as well. Okay. The next update I have for you is on Celestia. I know many of you have been talking about this. Celestia has seen a bit of a pump at $6.60. It's nothing compared to like the $10 or $20 that we had. A lot of people are forgetting this. It's like Stockholm syndrome, right? Yeah, great. It's $6.60, $20 like in February. So come on, February or March. So they announced $100 million in new fundraising, bringing the total raise to 155. One thing I want to highlight here is this is apparently not the full truth. Apparently, this was an OTC deal done at a $3.5 billion valuation directly with the foundation a few months ago. And apparently, it's also potentially unlocking in October. So, a lot of people, once again, is how you tell the story, right? So they're like, oh, they're waiting to see this announcement. Why? Because it's beneficial for the VCs. And why would that be? Well, let's just take a look at the unlock schedule, right? We've talked about this before. On October 31st, the market cap or the number of tokens is almost effectively doubling, very close to it. 83.3% of the tokens in existence will be added again. And then every single day, we're going to see 1 million tokens or 0.5% of the market cap unlocked is going to keep continuing. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to see massive dilution in this price, and it's going to happen at a time when still modularity is not a pervasive narrative. I expect this token to completely tank in the wake of it, and just sort of put my money where my mouth is. I have started to unstake all my Celestia in every single wallet, save for one. That wallet, I'm going to wait until October to do that. Okay. Next and final update I have for you is on Linea. So just so you guys know, Surge Volt 5 has officially started. As you remember, in every Volt you get less points, but most importantly, there are 6 volts. So the way that this works is the Linea Voyage Surge lasts for 6 volts or up to $3 billion of TVL on Linea. And basically the LXPL flows to the earliest volts. So we're about 2 months away, about November 24th, November 23rd. We should be done with this. We'll see if they come up with another farming campaign, LXPLL, last stance or whatever, but it's good. Check how you're doing on the dashboard. Put your wallet in here. I'm ranked 2856. That's not bad, but those are pretty much the updates I wanted to give you today. And just to answer the question by Subradeep Samantre, when is the EIGEN sex listing? I'm not sure, but what I will say is they are enabling trading on the 30th of September. So likely we should be able to see a sex listing exactly around then. My recommendation is just to do it on the DEX because you'll be able to do that on Ethereum. And I have pre-sold a bunch of my Eigen tokens on Whales Market at over double the price. As I mentioned to you guys in the summer, I didn't think this token was going to be worth it. Since then, the token price has completely nuked. But guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, get those likes up, share the video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, help me get to like 15,000 subs. I know we're like 11,100. Let's go. Let's get to 15K. Let's get some ambitious goals in here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.